Yep, there's another one. Well, it's time for another Turkish knockoff movie, but this time, I actually owe Turkey a bit of an apology. When I reviewed the more famous Turkish Superman movie, I said that it was made to cash in on the 1978 Superman starring Christopher Reeve, which of course it was. But it turns out Turkey actually made another Superman movie back in 1970, or 1973? Whatever, the point is it came out before the Christopher Reeve Superman, proving that Turkey was actually ahead of the curve when it came to ripping off popular American superheroes. The film's Turkish title roughly translates to Iron Fist, The Giants Are Coming. Well, that's a pretty misleading title. This guy doesn't look anything like Iron Fist. Wait a second, this is a Sony film? Sure hope it's better than Turkish Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will give the movie this, I think this is the first Turkish movie I've seen where the credits haven't called me a cunt. Although, there is something else weird about him.
Hançer ve haç üzerindeki yazı bulunduğu takdirde hazinenin ve uranyum madeninin yeri tespit edilecek.
Okay, take it easy, movie. The credits still haven't finished yet. Also, I'm beginning to think I put in the wrong movie since there appears to be a Klingon in it. Ah, shit, it's the 50th anniversary. Why am I not reviewing Turkish Star Trek?
Fu Manchu ailesi nihayet benim varlığımla bu mücadeleyi kazanacak.
Wait a second, the audio doesn't sound like it was recorded at the bottom of a well. Did somebody actually take the time to remaster this movie? Oh well, doesn't matter anyway, since I still can't tell what's going on. I'm guessing this is the movie's villain, and if this is supposed to be Superman, who's this supposed to be? Turkish Catwoman?
Yarın geceki iş tamam mı?
Tamam Fu Manchu.
What? Fu Manchu? No, that can't be Fu Manchu. This guy doesn't look anything like Christopher Lee. This Fu Manchu is a wheelchair-bound transvestite, so nice that the movie's trying to be inclusive, I guess.
Ne zaman geliyormuş Sako?
Yarın sabah 10'da Fu Manchu. Türk Hava Yolları.
We then get introduced to even more villains, and I think one of them is Turkish Sarah Palin. Also, how the hell did the guy with the hook hand get past security? You can tell they're evil because they refuse a ride from this cab driver.
Yürü kasap çengeli. Ulan o çengeli alırım da sonra... Neyse, terbiyemiz müsaade etmez. Hanım abla yanında.
Fu Manchu has his men get something from the water, and he even dressed his hench ladies in bikinis in case they want to help out. Or if they want to just shoot those guys. Also, is that a coffin? What, is he trying to wake up Turkish Dracula or something? Is that even a thing? Turkish Dracula? You know what, that's probably a thing. I gotta say, it's nice to finally see a bald villain in a Turkish Superman movie, although something tells me this isn't Lex Luthor.
Çirkin ve aptallardan nefret ederim.
God damn it, I knew that guy wasn't Lex Luthor. Now that he's said who he is, maybe now he can explain his evil plan.
Memleketimize faydalı olmak için geldiğimi sanmayın. Ben dünyanın hakimi olacağım.
I think Fu Manchu has the only evil lair where you have to mind the gap. Of course, Fu Manchu's plan is to take over the world using seaweed, the Fiend! Fu Manchu's really disappointed there wasn't a new supply of wigs in there. Hey, the nudity must mean this is the extended R-rated cut of this movie. This one runs a whole 70 minutes. We now get to see Superman, played by Turkish Robert Forster. Don't worry, no one can tell he's Superman unless he takes off his necklace. Also, I think he may be cheating on his girlfriend.
Meral.
Ben söyleyeyim. Hadi bas bakalım.
Okay, well at least this time it's not the hero smacking a woman, so that's a step up. Looks like Superman's in trouble with Lois. Okay, I guess not. Damn, I already made a faster than a speeding bullet joke in my spaced out video. Now I feel like I blew my wad too soon. They also get a visit from the cab driver from earlier, who I assume is supposed to be the movie's comic relief. Still less embarrassing than Richard Pryor in Superman 3. While Superman's walking home from his job as a Gap casual wear model, he gets into the movie's first fight scene. Yes, Superman. More powerful than a guy who works out a couple times a week. I don't know why these two were even fighting in the first place, since they immediately make up afterwards. This movie's starting to not make sense.
Üç kişiyiz.
Hey, that wasn't right. I'm beginning to think these subtitles aren't entirely accurate. Someone should really make a comment about that. You know, like on every video I make about these movies for some reason. And when did this turn into Turkish Rocky? Instead of Earth's yellow sun, this Superman looks like he gets his powers from a tanning bed. Well, the bad guys are here. Get ready for some of the greatest fight choreography since Miami Connection. Okay, well, at least now I know what the Foley guy did to make the punching sound effects. And what kind of fight scene is this for a Superman movie? This probably didn't result in a single building collapsing or innocent person getting killed.
Patron ben gidiyorum ha.
Nereye?
Wait a second, what are you guys doing showering together? Don't you know Batman's supposed to be the homoerotic one? Uh-oh, looks like the bad guys remembered guns are a thing. What are they gonna do now?
Ne yapalım?
Okay, guess that's the end of that scene. You've heard of a smash cut? Well, here's an ass cut. You know, between the belly dancer and the bikini hench ladies, I think Fu Manchu's doing some serious overcompensating here. Now the plot's really getting unbelievable. I refuse to believe this movie had this much money behind it. And holy shit, belly dance girl is really Lois. And also sexy librarian lady, I think. Time for this guy to show off his latest super weapon, the Oven Mitt of Doom. Very nice. But you know what would be even easier and more effective? Just using a regular gun.
Bu ordu sadece benim için çalışacak. Bana karşı gelmeye çalışan budalaları mahvedeceğim.
This guy's playing my favorite Superman villain, Sergeant Pepper. You know, I just realized we're almost halfway through and Superman hasn't even been in his costume yet. Maybe that's what these guys are so upset about.
Bunu bil. Seni de ayna kafa.
Vay vay vay.
Hey, that wasn't right either. Someone really needs to comment on that. Otherwise, people might think it's supposed to be a joke. Not only is Superman not bulletproof in this movie, he's killed by bullets that aren't even aimed at him. Just kidding, he's fine. I'm assuming Lois helped him fake his own death, but were the guys who shot him also in on it? Oh well, at least Comic Relief Sidekick's there to help bury him. Psst, hey, wake up. We don't have a permit to film in this cemetery. Lois goes to bust the other guy out before this movie turns into Turkish Midnight Express. Which, wait, would that just be regular Midnight Express? Okay, either they changed the punch sound effect or somebody bumped the microphone. And here's a weird twist. Fu Manchu and Baldy are actually against each other in this movie. That's not how it's supposed to go. The trend is to have the heroes fight each other. And do you hate it when Superman movies get bogged down with things like how he got his costume? Well, not here. He just randomly shows up already wearing it. Although he doesn't really look like Superman. In fact, is that a Batman symbol on his undies?
Kim bu acaba?
Bir dost herhalde.
He looks like he was at the same laundromat as Batman and took a pair of his underpants by mistake. At least now we get to see Superman show off all his superpowers, like the ability to punch, kick, and let the bad guys get away. You will believe a man can jog. At least the suit provides some camouflage since no one notices him on top of this truck. And damn it, you interrupted Fu Manchu before he had his makeup perfect. Time for Fu Manchu to explain his evil plan.
Güzel bir vücut Tisank.
Alright, lady, you know the drill. It's a Turkish movie, so get those clothes off. This Superman may not be able to fly, but he does know all his Boy Scout knots. Plus, he has the ability to run behind people without them noticing. Well, he's wearing Batman undies, so might as well do this gag. And so what if he's not bulletproof? Being punch-proof's almost as good. But Fu Manchu's got some tricks of his own, like the ability to blow himself up and making the heroes randomly switch locations. And what the hell is going on now? Did this movie just turn into Turkish The Crazies? Damn, these guys know Superman's one weakness: off-camera smoke machines. Superman escapes, not because of anything he does, but because the comic relief cab driver randomly shows up again. Who the hell decided to make the Jimmy Olsen equivalent more competent than Superman? You could have done that the whole time! Baldy does not like someone else almost killing Superman.
İçimize kadar giren bir kadının ajan olduğunu yeni öğrendiniz. Aptallar, budalalar!
Thank God Superman's costume wasn't damaged in the fight, otherwise his mom would have to stay up all night sewing him another one. And what in God's name is going on here? Okay, Fu Manchu, we get it. You're totally straight. And bit of advice, never go to a gynecologist in Turkey. You know, since the bad guys in this movie are enemies, Superman could technically just sit out the whole movie and just let them kill each other. That'd be a lot easier. But then he'd miss out on Fu Manchu's kinky bondage fantasies. Miss Lane, you're trying to seduce me. Superman manages to rescue Lois, but oh no, not nets! Nets are like kryptonite to Superman! Well, congratulations, Superman. You managed to save Lois for about 5 seconds. And what the hell? Turkish Gandalf? What's he doing here? Okay, guess it doesn't matter since he's dead now. Not only do the sidekick characters get captured less than Superman, but they're also more effective at beating up bad guys. And I think the cab driver might be the only one with superpowers since he seems to be able to teleport anywhere at just the right moment. Turkish superhero movies are so badass, even the side characters will shoot somebody in the face. And holy crap, Superman is really the guy we knew was Superman!
Biz Türkler kolay kolay postu devirmeyiz ayna kafa.
Ya öyle mi?
Damn it, that wasn't right either! Someone really needs to comment on that! By the way, have I mentioned anything about how the subtitles are supposed to be wrong yet? And what's this? 2 Supermen? Is this like in Superman 3 where he splits into 2 beings? Or was there a spare costume lying around and one of the sidekicks put it on? Now that he's free, Superman thinks he's James Bond and gets in a speedboat chase. This is a situation where Turkish Aquaman would really come in handy. Good thing Superman knows Hook Guy's weakness. A couple light dunks in the water and he's dead as a doornail. Now they just need to dig his grave. Boy, that's weird. Digging sounds a lot like punching in Turkey. I've talked about how superheroes in Turkish movies usually have questionable morals, but in this movie, Superman appears to be a grave robber. Well, at least this way, if they do run into Turkish Dracula, they'll have a cross ready. At this point, Superman finds out what the bad guys were really after this whole time, the mystical Turkish White Power Ranger sword. Too bad Baldy's there too. The hell, that's it? That ending was even more abrupt than the one from Turkish Flash Gordon. Oh, never mind, the cameraman was just fucking with me. One thing about the Turkish version of Superman, he was ahead of his time when it came to killing the bad guy at the end. I bet this guy really wishes he hadn't left his power mitten in the car. Superman's not done yet though, since this movie has more villains than Spider-Man 3. My god, Fu Manchu is actually a man! A man with a really terrible comb-over. At this point, I think there really is a scene missing, since it just cuts to most of the bad guys defeated and Fu Manchu getting away in a car. Which means I missed out on most of a Lois Henchlady catfight. Oh well, at least they got the dagger.
Hançer nihayet elimize geçti.
Enver nereye gitti?
Superman chases after Fu Manchu, and screw it, he already had the Batman logo on his crotch. Might as well give him a bat cycle too. Time for the final battle between Superman and Fu Manchu. And looking at these two, would you ever guess that that's what's happening right now? Oh, and there hasn't been some unlicensed music in a while. Hey, is this about to turn into Turkish Manhunter? Because that would be pretty awesome. Fu Manchu's just pissed at Superman for revealing his comb-over. I wish I could say this is the first death by manicure I've seen on this show, but it actually isn't. And then the police arrive, presumably to arrest Superman for just murdering a guy in front of them. Son. Well, that was a pretty inaccurate Superman movie. Maybe this really was supposed to be an Iron Fist movie and they just got the symbol wrong. But this Superman does kill more people and sleep with more women than the other one, which makes this a more accurate Turkish superhero movie. But if you want to see a classic American superhero bust a nut while a bunch of creepy puppets watch, your only option is still Turkish Spider-Man. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.